Hey guys, Alex here with Cover Bridge Outfitters. Today we're going to be tying a froggy water smallmouth fly that'll walk the dog for us. To tie this fly, we're going to use a Gamakatsu B10S stinger in 1/0, MFC fish feathers in olive and brown grizzly, some Arctic goat fur in white, some Senyo's laser dub in white and in red, some aqua chenille in wild raspberry. Really cool material here. I use it in a lot of my bass flies. Some UV polar chenille in white, some white bucktail, and whatever flies you think look the coolest. Today I'm just using some red fish eyes. This fly is not going to be keeled, so it's best fished on a sinking line or a sinking tip. So to start this fly, start our thread wraps up at the eye of our hook. Big loose wraps headed back. And we are going to stop right at the bend of the hook. Now that we've got our thread wraps back to the bend of our hook, we're going to grab our white bucktail, grabbing it from the top of this bucktail, right up by the tip, thin fibers. This is really just gonna act as a prop for the feathers in the back of this fly. So it doesn't need to be super neat, does not need to be super pretty, just needs to be there. Now we're gonna grab our MFC feathers, grabbing 2 of those, and we're gonna tie them in, 1 on each side. Make sure those tips line up when you tie them in together. Don't want our fly looking all wonky. Now normally you would trim these, but they aren't going past the eye of my hook, so just for added security, I'm gonna wrap them down. There is the back of our fly. Next, we're gonna grab our UV polar chenille in white, tie it in right at the back of this fly. And we're gonna bring that thread about halfway up, and we are going to palmer this polar chenille up to our thread. Palmering is just the act of wrapping that material back up the shank of that hook. Want to do nice tight wraps. We want to make sure this is pretty dense back here. Take our thread, and there are our chenille wraps. Now, we're gonna take our aqua veil in wild raspberry. Only doing a couple wraps in this, don't need a lot of it. Just want that flash in that color. There are our chenille wraps, kind of the body of our fly, filler, making sure it's dense but sparse at the same time. This material is not going to soak up any water. It's going to shed water pretty fast, but it's going to add some volume to our fly. Next, I've got Arctic goat fur in white. Find a clip number 2. We want to get rid of all the under hairs in that. Hold on to that stuff. It makes really good dubbing for smaller flies. Now we're kind of just going to give this a messy little reverse tie. Loose wraps. Kind of just use your finger to spin it around the hook here. It does not need to be pretty. It's going to be covered up by other materials here. There's our goat, looks good. Now we're gonna make the head of our fly. We're gonna take some laser dub in red, pick out a generous amount. I wanna line these fibers up. So just pull them apart, put them back together, let all those fibers kind of line up together. I like laser dub a lot. It's denser, it's a long fiber, really great for making heads on these smallmouth flies, especially when you want your fly to do what this fly is gonna do, which is walk the dog. Secure that on the bottom there. Now we're gonna grab the same material, laser dub in white, do the same thing up top. Just a couple wraps to secure it. Now we're gonna fold these back, give it a few wraps in front of those materials. There's the first layer of the head of our fly. Now we're gonna give it one more. This time we're gonna grab a little bit of that red and a little bit of this white. We're gonna give this a 2-to-1 ratio, more white to red, kind of blend it in there. Now we're gonna take this clump, real tight, same way we did with the red before. Just gonna take a little bit more white, put that on top, secure it down, and then we are just folding that material backwards again. Putting some thread wraps in front of it. Take our whip finish tool. Got our fly whip finished. Take our glue, give it just a little dab at the head. Now we're gonna put some eyes on. Put these eyes down. I'll just put a little glob of super glue on the eye. Careful not to get it on your fingers like I just did. And we are pressing on our eye. Sure to press that on tight. We want to get it touching our wraps on the shank of our hook. There we go, there's one eye. All right, I'm gonna take my little comb here. Give him a little comb out. And there there's our fly. If you guys like this video and were tying along with me, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the water.